Alright, we're back. We're probably going to try and flip through these hands a bit quicker because this is taking a while.
Yeah, it's like 2 a.m. here.
Yeah. Definite fold again. When we're not beating an under the gun range. Flatting is like we're just
And
hoping.
which is even stronger than this 2.5x range.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, what is this guy doing that with? It has to be like ace queen or ace king, and that's it. And it's just
Jack.
really bad.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I just think it's strong more than often than not, and
I probably wouldn't even bet into him there just because like mid pairs aren't folding, and like that's a board where even if he's like 3x'd with a mid pair, like even 5, 6, or 7, they're not folding
yeah,
for just a couple of barrels, and then any overcard can hit him because he will probably float some of those hands. So I mean, just fold pre.
yeah,
Don't play hands with no equity with very little fold equity.
yeah. I agree. And so here he's got less than 10 bigs now, so I'm just folding pre. I'm not opening this at all.
If this was a stone bubble, I'd just raise fold to him or like raise cycle.
Yeah, that's fair actually. I kind of forgot. Wow. Okay. We're back getting it in. This is really gay. I mean, if this is the bubble, I'm snapping because, like, such a tough spot.
I'm never folding anyway.
What's that?
I'm never folding anyway. Oh, he's just piled so much, but like, people don't pile the nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
Some fish do pile 6, 7 here just because they're trying to protect against like clubs and stuff. But like,
there's so many draws out there.
Yeah.
You can have any two clubs, anything, any open ender.
Yeah, and just binks it on the turn, so that's pretty unlucky for us. Alright, so now we're down to like relatively short stack here. So I think this is a fold pre. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't be defending these.
His range is just not that. Like, this is just almost a nut worse that we flop really well.
Yeah, like we're pretty much hoping for a flop like this, and like he can still have 7s or something that he's never folding, and then we're still just like
all over his. He's got sets. He's got over cards with diamonds.
Yeah, and so he just called us off with ace high here. I think that's pretty lucky that he did, but like
I'd be calling with ace high versus our stack there on the flop, probably not on the turn.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we don't expect him to jam ace X, if we don't expect him to c-bet very much, we should be jamming, or like bet calling flop.
Yeah.
We just get there. We'll hold.
Yeah. Opens fine. Opens fine. Sizing's good. Fold to a 3x is good.
With that. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's good. We go flat. C-bet. That's fine. Yep.
Probably there's an argument for checking back if there was no flush draw out there.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. I'm not going to say any more on that. That's fine. Alright. Ace Jack. So he's got 22 bigs here. 3-bet get it in?
Just pile.
Yeah, piling's fine as well.
I mean, if we think
I think that's probably better.
Like flat and fold to a flop shove, then we can 3-bet. Flatting's not awful if we think he's super spewy post. But I'd just rather jam it.
Yeah, I just hate the times where it comes like 10 high and we have to fold. Just seems such a waste because like when we only got 22 bigs, Ace Jack's like a monster,
Pretty awful.
really.
Yeah, we should be betting turn. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like
lead turn. Like even though we see bet, we can just lead turn and get value from all aces because a lot of aces think they're close to chopping now, and it's even less likely he has ace-8.
Yeah, and if we bet 5k here, then it's going to be 20k into 13, and he's got 13 left on the river, so we can just set up for a shove. Whereas now you folded anyway, but I think we potentially miss value against worse aces there.
We miss value against his range, really.
Yeah. Ace king.
3-bet getter then, so like 8, 6, 6, 6, I reckon. Just enough so that I'm not flatting. If we make it 8, 6, 6, 6, and both of them flat, we should have a better pot size.
Yeah, because that'll give us like 24k, and we'll have 21, so we can just shove any.
And if one of them calls, we can just bet fold some flops and bet jam turn.
Yeah. So
not.
I think like this is a monster here. I just think we definitely want to see all 5 cards with ace king as well, because
We just want them to put money in with worse hands, which they will.
Yeah.
As played, I'd probably lead this flop a lot.
Yeah, I would.
Because we should never have. No, I'm not check raising. We should never have an ace king here, in their minds. So we can.
As played, then there probably means like we were saying before, our check raises were quite drawy. So it's probably not a horrible time to check raise, but I don't think I ever get myself into this spot.
I think the fact that it's three-way makes a massive difference. Heads up pots are different.
Yeah,
three-way.
No, that's a very good point.
Isn't it like the other guy could be planning to check raise 4s? Oh no, he was the opener. Sorry. Yeah. See, like I'd just much rather lead that or check call and lead turns. I think leading turns is really underrated.
Yeah, and like what if we check raise here? What does he get it in with? Like, it's kind of ace x of clubs is like it, or like
spades. You mean?
Sorry, spades. Yeah.
Yeah, and like king queen might get it in.
Yeah,
that's
king queen probably does as well.
Definitely get it in. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, we have the king of spades, so like, no, there's nothing that gets it in. We might get called by some flush draws.
Yeah.
I don't mind defending.
Yeah, we're kind of deep.
We have to be.
It's not a bad 3-bet spot either. Like,
I don't mind flatting. Like, you know, people are going to play so bad post that not raising. Yeah. Flat. It's fine. I probably bet when he checks flop though, because he's almost always got a king here. So I think we should be folding river as played.
Yeah, because like, what does he bet turn bet river here and expecting us to fold? Like, it's pretty much picked up hearts. It's kind of like the only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we fold like we might peel one with like not sevens, like 8s or 6s, and then fold.
But then he should expect us to bet flop with most of those. So our range is like absolute air.
Yeah.
And
I think
because he's trying to get value out of smaller pairs there, really.
Yeah.
When he bets river, like he doesn't really expect over 10, but like 8s, 9s and stuff, because he shouldn't really have many 10s in his barrel range.
Yeah.
So like that's just the kind of board where pairs don't fold, so he's not c-betting, which I think is fine. And he picks up showdown and then just gets 2 streets from us. We should have folded.
Okay, so here I don't mind a 3-bet, but except for the fact that we've just lost. Like we haven't lost. We've been active in the last 2 pots, so it's.
I don't like a 3-bet with the blind stacks because they both the button has 10 bigs and then the big blind has 11 bigs.
Yeah, but like, how wide do you 4-bet shove on someone with 11 bigs? I mean, I'm folding most of the time.
I just think the guy on our direct left's pretty bad, so he's going to cold call us some of the time, and we end up seeing a flop with him. Like, that's why... This is not why I don't 3-bet. This is why I make it bigger. Sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah, sorry. I make it like 56 here if I'm 3-bet.
It gets called significantly more than a bigger sizing.
Yeah.
Cold call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like... I would normally like defending rather than 3-betting, but I don't like defending due to the fact that we get squeezed.
Yeah. No, I like 3-betting, but I would make it slightly bigger. And that all of the rest of that's fine. King balls. This is kind of a decent spot to flat. What do you think?
What's the effective stack like? Yeah, flatting's fine. Because, I mean, the thing is, one that 3-bets is, like, if he has ace-king, he's going to barrel into us because we've got such a ridiculous image.
Our image is shot given what we've done the last 4 hands. So,
This isn't this flatting where you think people give up ace-king, ace-queen when they miss in single-raise pots a ton. People just don't give up in 3 and 4-bet pots, really. Like, when they're the aggressor. They're way too aggressive, and everyone else is way too fit fold. As a general rule of thumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be fine with like calling.
Because you could flat and then like check call any flop and just like let him, and then he probably has like a pot size bet on the turn, so he's just gonna like with his ace queen and ace king high, he's just gonna like jam.
And then we can bet super small on the turn, and he'll just pile on us a ton.
Yeah.
Makes it slightly smaller on the flop.
I'm folding here. I don't really see much value in defending.
No, I'd rather squeeze before I defend.
Yeah. See, we just check folding now. So we just kind of put a big blind in there. You can make it slightly bigger here. Like you just min raise when you were making it like 25 before. You could even go like 3k if you really wanted to here. But raise folding's fine.
Yeah, the guy's just not active. If he was active, we can 4-bet on him with 4-bet ship on him with that stack. But
yeah, once again, not a bad 3-bet spot. But given how active we've been, fold's fine. Open's good. Open's good.
ISO before I limp behind.
Yeah, this is a good ISO spot. Like it defines their range too because they kind of tell you when they have aces when they limp here, and otherwise they just play pretty fit fold. See, he's got aces. Or kings.
Close enough.
Short-handed, I think this is okay. Definitely betting flop. Yep.
Yeah.
That one's all good.
Don't think there's much value to checking back on that texture because there's so many draws out there.
We just hate life when any overcard hits as well. Our 7.
Yeah.
Except for
and we really hate life when you bet's turn, really, because it's another board that people bluff on.
Yeah.
Although we don't really expect them to call with much worse other than draws.
Okay.
And we fold better, it's just fine. It's just bet, take the pot down when he folds, and let him draw when we, have the best hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that.
No, I think that's okay. Getting pretty frisky with our raise here, but like once again, not a bad spot. But I'd much rather if we weren't so active because they're just going to start playing back at us pretty soon, I think. I'd much rather just open button here than
yeah, I don't mind opening into that big blind stack because he's just not playing a short stack correctly.
Yeah,
we can just raise fold.
I agree. And I'd much rather do this. I think this is a lower variance spot than 3-betting.
Yeah, I don't mind the 3-bet because we haven't 3-bet from the blinds at all, and is generally perceived to be a tighter range. Folding's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't like this defend. I think you're defending slightly too wide out of the blinds just because just really hard to hit a nice flop.
Big turn, yeah.
Yep, that's fine. And barreling off is... Oh, yuck. I mean, if that was limped round, I like your play, but I just don't like defending.
Yeah, no, I agree. See, with anything kind of playable, that flop would actually have hit us.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're down to 21 bigs. I like this as a 3-bet shove spot. I don't really like floating.
Yeah, I'm fine with 3-bet shoving.
Pretty sick flop.
You bet smaller, much smaller.
I think like 4, 5, 6, 7 is probably what I bet here.
Yeah, that's
although
too.
Thinking about it, that's not a horrible bet sizing because it set us up for just like a jam on the turn.
The other guy has us covered by heaps, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just double checking. I just bet smaller because I want the other guy in the pot. And we bet so big that we handcuff him. Whereas if we bet smaller, he makes a stupid flat.
And we can barrel smaller, like twice.
Yeah.
And see, now that we've checked back, that's fine. But now our bet's kind of big on the river. And he does it for us, which is great. We should be shoving here, I think.
Yeah.
I think we beat a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. Like, the only thing we lose to as played is like ace-queen.
Yeah. And ace-queen probably bets flop, to be honest. To overs and a gutter.
Yeah. So, I think you can probably shove. I mean, he's not calling with threes anyway, but that's kind of irrelevant. Not a fan of flatting either. What do you think?
Like, I wouldn't mind it so much if we had like 8-9 suited, 9-10 suited, even like 10-queen suited or off or anything. Something that flops better for our effective stack.
It flops. Like, our top pair can be good with those sort of hands, whereas we never flop top pair with 6-5.
I'd just much rather 3-bet this hand than 3-bet like 9-10 off.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of hand, like, the boards that they're going to get stubborn on are the ones that connect with us. The boards that they think connect with us heaps and fold, we completely whiff, so we just kind of free roll a bit of extra equity.
Yeah. Open's fine. Yeah, 3 ways I'm checking this back.
I'm checking this back and probably fold into a turn bet, like, most of the time, unless I turn a club or a
unless
6
it's
or
like
a 7.
7 at clubs or something.
Yeah. See, I'd probably call one now if I had checked back. Now I'm definitely checking back.
Yeah, I agree. And, yeah.
Folding.
Well,
I folded the first bet anyway.
I think checking back, check folding on that board is fine. Unless you improve, like, from the flop.
Yeah, I'd peel one given we turn together, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm much rather be defending that there.
It's under the gun.
But that guy's
folding
terrible. That's the guy that was raising threes from like earlier. Like he's obviously opening relatively wide.
I think you just set yourself up for these other guys flatting as well. I just like folding.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with folding, but I'd rather flat that before I flat 6-5 suited versus a mid position.
No, I agree with that. And
just shove him when it gets so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. What happened there?
Well, we won the side pot, which effectively gave us the same stack we started with.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shoved
7s, yeah. It's yeah, so 7's just one, and then we just get the same stack back. So
we actually made 5 big blinds off it.
Ship it. That's a fold, yep. Open's fine.
That what is it? 5 bigs? No, 7 bigs.
Yeah.
I'd probably just call. I don't know if it's bad.
Like, it's like half a stack though, right?
No, it must be more than that. A min raise is 4, so no, that's like 13 bigs.
Oh yeah, it's true. You're right. We were going off the raise size. No, I think that's a fold.
Yeah, no, with that it's a fold. If it was like 6 or 7 bigs, we give them the right price to call, so I fold.
Yeah, and that's the problem with calling. Like, the small blind's going to call a ton.
I'd be shoving before I just call.
Yeah, same. And now you have to play 3-way, and now you kind of just have to hit your jack. Oh, wow.
How do we get it in good there?
I'm not really sure why he's shoving 10s there and not just like checking it down.
Phew. I think we got really, really lucky there. I'd just be ISOing and winning a flip.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we
But
can fold shove as well.
I think folding's probably better than ISOing, but I do that before shoving, just for the fact before flatting, just for the fact that flatting lets the other guy in. Folding 4s under the guns here, fine, I think.
Shoving aces as well because you give your hand strength away. Like whenever I see a flat,
Oh yeah, no, I definitely shove like whole range that I'm shoving. I don't ever flat even aces, unless the person's so bad that they're just never paying attention.
Never, yeah.
Walkies, that's nice.
Don't see the need to defend. I'd rather 3-bet, but I'd rather fold.
It's not a bad 3-bet spot, but I'm folding as well. I think that's probably one of the bigger leaks in your game at the moment. You
haven't played a hand from almost an orbit and a half, so it's not the worst thing in the world to just throw a 3-bet out there.
No, 3-bet's fine. I think just defends a bit. If defending a bit wide here, John, I think just means you play pots out of position, which just makes them really tough to play. Open's good. Open's good.
Yeah, it's fine. Fine with folding those hands.
Go through another orbit.
Shoving.
Yeah, so he's got 22 bigs. So I think shoving's fine. Yeah.
Defending.
I really don't like defending. I think just shoving's fine here.
Like, if he's tight enough that I don't want to shove, then I would fold.
I would fold, yeah, never flatting. Because this is a pretty decent example of why flatting's bad, because we don't really know what he's got here. Because he's going to be c-betting full range. He could have ace-jack here. He could even have 6s. We really don't know, and we're just going to have to give it up now.
Yeah. See, I'd be more inclined to float cool stuff like king-queen off, things that are going to flop well versus range, and he's going to barrel on those types of flops.
Yeah, I just think there's so much value in just picking up the dead money from when he folds that I just never flat with 22 big effective.
I do another big blind. I wouldn't really... Yeah, I do. I flat those stacks. I don't flat them with some medium pairs because just end up incorrectly folding and incorrectly calling way too much because they're so hard to play perfectly.
Yeah.
But king in that kind of spot's pretty easy to play well versus their range.
Yeah, but it's still... King-queen's, like... It still does well against their calling range.
No, it definitely does. I just think it plays more properly post-flop because king and queens are massive barrel cards. And we don't dominate anything like we do when we have ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack. Like, we don't dominate the smaller aces. But
yeah, see, that's where you and I differ quite a lot, I think, Tom, because I really like just taking down the dead money with those sort of hands. Because I just don't think we get... Like, I think... Maybe it's just because you play in a lot more deeper tournaments where it kind of happens a little bit more often, but I think you assume people barrel a lot more than what they do, or maybe just in the tournaments that you play they actually do. Yeah,
but their ranges are just going to be wider. Like, his opening range with 22 bigs is nothing like his opening range with like 17. So like, or 18 or 19. Like,
but it's just like free money if you get him to fold pre.
With king queen off? Yeah, but there's hands I'd shove before I shoved king queen. Like king queen I flat, I'd probably shove like queen jack suited, ace 10 plus, probably might flat.
But ace 10 does pretty close to the same against his calling range as king queen.
Yeah, it does.
Pretty
it
much
doesn't dominate the same stuff. And I'm just shoving smaller pairs because they do fine and they're way harder to play. Like, I think king queen suited and king queen off just play really well versus barreling range because we just dominate a whole bunch of stuff, but we don't.
So what do you do with aces? Are you shoving there as well?
Probably. I'm probably 3-betting. I'd probably 3-bet fold some stuff if I thought he was capable of it. If I don't think he's capable of doing anything, then I just 3-bet small. And if he flats, I just bet small flop. Bet shove turn. Just because if I think
Yeah,
he's
see,
bad, I'll just a really exploitative line. If I think he's good, I'll either shove or flat.
Yeah. Okay, so here.
Yeah, like I'd probably do the same with queens and kings if I think he's awful, and jacks even. If I think he's awful. If I don't think he's awful, then I'll, try. If I think he's decent and will be raise folding that stack, then I'd generally be 3-bet folding before I 3-bet shove at 22 bigs.
Yeah.
But
It's probably it's probably the borderline for me. Sometimes
I just don't find that many people that consistently raise folding those stacks and like raise 4-betting like to be able to induce and stuff like that. But if he's awful, then yeah.
Okay.
Like,
so now we've picked up ace king and we're like 30 bigs effective, 33 bigs. I'm just raise getting it in.
yeah,
Like,
3-bet get in.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't understand flatting here because we're just playing a pot out of position now, and it just becomes really hard to play. And we're ahead of his opening range as well, so like we can just raise for value, get it in.
yeah.
See, this is like horrible for us now, unless we're going to check shove or check raise.
We're way too deep to check shove.
Yeah,
if it
we
was
are.
a 3, we could check shove.
Yeah, you're right.
I just rather float. You have to float. You can't fold. Yeah, you have to float one. Yeah.
But this is just guessing game now because we're out of position. So
yeah, that. I mean,
yeah.
We presume we can play post flop lead. See, he's got a lot of ace-x in his range now, and the board's paired, which is gross. So I probably just. See, I don't see any value in betting because he's not folding a chop.
Yeah, he's not folding, and he's calling all over pairs here too because we don't really have 4s and 5s in our range.
If you want to scare the shit, if you're betting to fold a chop, you have to bet like overbet. You have to bet like 4-1-1, 1-1.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the,
Yeah, and so
like,
he had the same hand, but I don't understand. I just think it's a pretty easy 3-bet, get it in spot. And I think we lose value against hands like ace queen and things like that by not doing that. And I mean, even if he had queens or jacks, that's still good for us because the dead money in the pot makes it plus EV still.
Yeah.
Ace 10.
I don't know why we're 3-betting this, but not 3-betting ace king.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think this is a good spot to do it as well. I mean, given that we're short-handed, his range can be slightly wider.
But then we just flattened value hands. I highly doubt it's going to matter in this tournament. But just in terms of flatting ace king just before makes our 3-bet value range so much thinner.
Yeah.
Because if we're flatting ace king, you have to assume we're flatting queens plus, which means what's our 3-bet value range?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 3-betting now. Our range is air-weighted, and now we're really obviously exploitable to anyone that notices. That's why I always note when people flat those hands, and that's why I always make sure if I'm playing good people, I tone down my 3-betting if I've just flatted a strong hand.
Yeah.
And it's going to show them.
Gin.
Yeah, bet sizing's good. Bet again. How many queen X's out there?
Yeah, I bet like 15. Yeah, 16 is good. We get called. And I'm overbet jamming here. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, fine with it. No,
I think it just looks stronger to do that than
I just think there's heaps of clubs that.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, he's not calling two streets to fold like a weaker club there.
Yeah. This is, I don't necessarily mind this defend. It's probably just about the bottom of my defending range here.
Yeah, well, stacks are deeper here, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I'm probably still check folding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
They just flop a hell of a lot better than some of the other hands we've been defending, though.
Yeah, like, it flops better than ace-x.
Way better. And it's just not dominated in the same way.
Yeah, because if we had ace-x back in this other spot just here...
Just call flop,
where,
fold turn.
Yeah, like, what do? We check call, and then he barrels turn, and then we're, like, in a world of pain.
Yeah.
Deuces is fine.
How deep's he?
So, 3-bet fold?
No, I'm more inclined to defend than anything else.
Yeah, I guess we are deep enough. I mean,
Well,
no, he's only 20 bigs.
He was 23 before he
Yeah.
3.
I
his
like 3 bet.
range is more polarized, so I don't want a 3-bet and fold into it. Because all we do is we fold his air, or like his trash hands, and we get jammed on by his stronger hands, so I'd rather just flat.
Yeah, but if he has more air than value, then it just means we show an immediate profit by 3-betting here, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. But I think we also show a massive profit by flatting a very playable hand in position where he's just like, this guy, if he's 3-betting blind versus blind with those stacks, he's probably not going to play anywhere near optimal on any other street. So he's just going to make massive mistakes. Like, he's just going to give up on most turns. Like, if he doesn't bet this turn, we can bet turn and take it down.
Yeah, I think we should be betting turn here as play. I think you're right. I think there is value. It's probably one of those hands where I might flat sometimes. I probably flat more like King Queen rather than Jack Knight.
This is almost the same hand, given how wide his range can be.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably feel more comfortable getting it in on like a Queen high board than a 9 high board though.
That's true, but would you be flatting like Queen 10 suited here?
Probably 3-bet that as well.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, I'd be flatting all of them. We're in position. We are in position and people just punt so hard, blind versus blind.
That is a good point.
Like, if this was button versus small blind, I'd probably still defend more, but I'd hate it. I'd probably fold to 3x and defend versus a min raise.
Yeah.
But since it's blind versus blind, like...
No, you're right. I'd probably never defend against a button open here. I probably 3-bet like all the time. But you're right. I think we can defend a lot given that we're in position here. I think this is a perfect turn card to bet though.
Yeah, I was talking to other John, and he was posting me some of the stuff he got sent, and that like one guy made a really good point that the typical tournament player is far too tight from the blinds and far too aggressive, meaning that they 3-bet a lot of hands that never get called by worse and are 3-betting at way too high frequencies to really show an immediate profit on their entire 3-betting range.
Yeah.
And seem to ignore the fact that we have a lot of equity, and you know, even out of position, a lot of hands play fine when we're set a good price for someone bad. Like, there's a good argument for avoiding great players, but there's not a good argument for avoiding... Yeah, he bets for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but I don't think that he did anything good. And I don't think raising river will make him fold.
No. Fold this, fine.
Yeah, like, we just... In position, like, why would he... If range versus range, we crush him. Because we're in position.
But I don't think we crush...
We don't crush his range, but, like, we want to play pots in position, blind versus blind, when we're going to make... Like, he will stack. He will just sometimes, like, pile second pair or check shove, like, stupid hands. Like, just...
Yeah, but... I don't know, like...
Is the other end of the spectrum where, like, if he's... Like, because we have no stats on this guy, so...
Maybe, I think you... Like, against regs, like, really aggressive regs, I think it's a good play. But against standard people, I just don't think they barrel anywhere near as much as... Maybe it's...
They c-bet and give up, and we just show an immediate profit by floating most flops and folding the terrible ones in texture, and you know, betting thinly for value on turns and checking back turns where the turn card hits their range, and you know.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, but given that we're only 20 bigs deep, we increase our variance a whole ton. Like, we could easily just like take it down pre, and it might be slightly less value. But
3-bet shove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you said you were 3-bet folding before, which I hated. But yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah. Did I? Yeah. Sorry, if I said that, that's wrong. Yeah.
We're just giving him the opportunity to pile it on us.
No. Sorry. If I said that
Yeah.
before, I sorry, I don't agree with that.
think so.
Yeah,
I just don't think against a 3x blind versus blind that we just get it through. Like, I think it's better to flat some hands, just open fold some, and jam a range that, when called, does well, because I don't think we have a ton of fold equity.
yeah.
Like, I think he stations off with, like, Queen Jack, for example, and a lot of, hands that have us crushed,
Actually,
but are just
we went 20.
23 bit effective.
No, that's like 30.
No, look at his stack.
Oh, sorry.
Fine.
Yeah. No. All right. He won a pot. Sorry, I got confused because he won a pot and then
Yeah.
off us. So I'm like, wait a second, because then I got to here and went, shit, we're 30. What's going on here?
Can't take you anywhere.
No. What are we opening into? 10 big blind, 18. I don't love it. I probably just fold.
I don't mind it if we think the guy in the big blind's a massive nit, because everyone else just doesn't fuck with us because of his stack size.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a 10 big blind stack behind.
Yeah, alright. Fair enough.
And we seem to be getting shorthanded, which means we're probably close to the final table.
Yeah, this is probably final 2, I would guess.
So just go nuts. See everything all day, every day.
Yeah.
Probably small.
Yeah. Yuck.
So think we can fold?
I'm just trying to think what hands he would do this with. Like 7-8's probably like the only one that we beat.
10s,
Like,
7, 8,
Because he
6s.
would like King 9 doesn't check raise here.
No, never.
So I think it's like a really sucky fold.
Yeah, I think we struggle to fold any overpair because he could be doing this with ace 9, but we block that so severely, and I don't know, like I don't really see him turning up with a ton that we beat, especially given how passive he's.
It certainly looks like he's either slow playing an overpair or he's flopped like a set.
Yeah,
Um,
I would not be surprised to see 10s here a ton.
You're right. I definitely agree with the fact that if we had 10s or jacks, is definitely getting it in just for the fact that he can have 9 a ton more often. But yeah. And what happened here?
And I don't like flatting either. Like his range is polarized. Like he could have air, but it's gonna be so hard to bluff catch because 10s, kings, queens, jacks all hit his air range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
No, I agree.
Yeah, see, and on that card, we're going to struggle to fold.
Yeah.
Good.
And so now we have to call off now, or he checks. So, wow, what do you check here?
What hand? Like he has some air, and he has some overpairs that he's hoping we pile for him.
Like, yeah, I mean, if you have jacks here, say, do you expect him to call 3 streets with a 9?
Yes, once he calls and leaves himself half pot.
Well, that's true. So, like,
He should be betting, but
I'm just trying to work out what sort of hands he would check with here.
it will be overpairs, I think. Like, most of the time.
Yeah.
That will be 10s and, like, 2s
But
and
like,
6s.
why wouldn't you triple? You just get scared because you
Just like-
it's going to be on your tournament life if you.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably what it is. It's probably like 10s or jacks, and he just doesn't want to like put his whole stack in just in case.
I think it's even more he just wants the other guy to bet it for him. Since John
But
has
what do you
shown
bluff
that he-
here?
What?
Like, what is he check calling and then bluffing? Like 7-8?
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying that will be
Yeah,
that will be
okay.
like
Yeah.
it'll be check calling the jacks here for no reason.
I'm
It-
putting him
it-
on 10s that he just like got scared and didn't want to shove.
Yeah.
Ooh, yuck.
So yeah,
I mean,
the three.
That's not like, I'm surprised to see it in his range, but it makes sense given that he probably puts us on an overpair now, and yeah, it's just thought he got counterfeited.
Yeah,
But that's pretty unlucky there, really.
it doesn't change his flop range really for me.
No.
Like 2 pairs really a set. Is the same thing in
Yeah.
that spot.
Yeah, I agree. So I think folding flop is the way to go.
Just to fold versus that stack size.
Yeah. How deep are we now? 15? Shoving? I'm probably just shoving. I'm not opening this.
I don't mind opening it. We're 16.
We
16.
We just get flattered a ton, and it's like really hard to play post flop.
Oh, sorry, I misread stacks behind.
Yeah, I just think even if everyone was like 10 big blinds, I just shove every time because I just feel like if we get flattered, it's like a lose-lose situation because we can't win a big pot anymore, and we can't like.
Yeah, no, you're right. I would jam in game as well.
Yeah. See, this is like a really bad situation for us because like, what do we do now?
Bet given against ace high.
Yeah, but it just really sucks. I think ace high gets it in a lot more pre than they do on the flop here, as well.
Yeah, they don't get it in; they just call, and we just jam turn.
Or they just fold, which is
and they what?
Or they just fold on the flop. But yeah,
we pick up some extra chips when it happens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate raising them just because I think we get jammed on by a similar calling range and we just have to call off. But, like, there are those times where, like, we just get snap 3-bet and then another guy overcalls because we're raising to 3 people, 4 people. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We could raise and have 14 bigs there, you know?
Yeah. Alright, so...
Times I used to jam, like, mid pairs, 20 bigs from early mid position, like, you know, 7s, 8s and stuff. And I started raise folding them because you open jam them and you get snapped off by, you know, in 3 spots where you could have got away with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Alright, so...
And, like, rather just get flattered and, you know, have to give up sometimes.
I think
and win
20 is a bit different because you can still c-bet, like, you know, if you're raising to 2 big blinds and then c-betting to 3, you still leave yourself with 15. But if you've got 16 big blinds, you're going down to like 11 if you do the same thing. So I think that's why I just shove those hands.
Really, especially if you're raising to blinds, because the pot will be smaller when called. So you'd fold down to 12 bigs, but like 12, 13 bigs, I don't think it's a big deal. And most of the time we won't be folding on a lot of flops, and a lot of the time we'll just be checking. You know, especially if we get flattered in a few spots.
But if we have 6s, the chances that it's like a 3 overcard flop is like, you have to be pretty high. I mean, I'm guessing like 30 or 40% of the time we'd have 3 overcards.
Yeah, no, that's
pretty
true.
high. So,
but there's some overcards that smash their range a lot more than others. Like 7s and 8s aren't scary to us. 9s aren't really scary. 10s, moderate. 10s through kings are scary. Aces aren't even that scary because there's not many aces people flat versus that stack.
Yeah, that's true as well. Alright, so I think this is the last hand of the night. So we have a 3x open here and we decide to shove 13 bigs. I probably don't like this either, just for the fact that I don't think...
We have a ton of fold equity and I think we play well enough against his range. Ace 10 we can shove for value.
Yep, I'm probably shoving ace 9 as well. I'm shoving like 6s plus king, queen, king, jack.
Yeah, 6s is really borderline. I might even fold 6s here.
Yeah,
just
6 is probably the bottom. I like king, queen here heaps more, just for the fact that he, you know, if he's calling with 7s and 8s, and 9s, we do a shitload better against his calling range. And he has king, queen, which is, I mean, that's pretty good for us. And he just banks and we bust. So I think we busted him probably like 15th or something. So general thoughts, mate. What do you think?
You're defending too wide, and you're defending with a range that doesn't flop equity very often. You're check raising a really unbalanced air range on a lot of turns, especially when you don't rep a lot of hands. Your C-bet's probably a bit too low. Your open sizing seems a bit big in spots, so there's your C-bet sizing and your turn sizing. You probably bet too small when you're really deep. Like pre-ante, 100 big steep, 150 big steep, you're opening too small, you're C-betting too small, you're betting turn too small.
Yeah.
Really, starting close to pot and working our way down. Like, I routinely bet like 3/4 pot, 4/5 pot, 150 deep, 100 deep.
Yeah. Like if there's 150 chips in the pot, you can easily bet like 100 or 125, and it's fine.
Yeah. What else is there? There's
I think there was a lot of times where you flattered when stack sizes didn't really weren't really deep enough. Like when you had about say 22 bigs, where I just don't think flatting is like you just don't have enough wiggle room post flop to be able to flat and play there. I prefer 3-betting or folding, and there was just some hands that were kind of marginal. Like I think there was like a 5-6 suited. There was one I think.
Yeah.
Where I don't think we don't flop up well enough often enough to be able to show a profit there. I don't think.
Yeah, I think we're like limping behind a bit too much, and we're calling shoves too wide in a lot of spots, and we are just kind of punting a lot post flop. Like we're not ripping hands with a lot of the moves we make.
Yeah.
So it's very clear when we're making moves and when we have it, because when we have it, we bet smaller and we bet, and when we have air, we check raise and check back flop, check raise turn.
Yeah.
No,
I agree with that. I think just in general, like I feel like your game would be really, really solid if you just said, all right, I'm just going to play really solid tonight. I think your game would be completely fine. But it's maybe a little bit fancy play, especially for like a $10 tournament. I just don't think it's required.
I also think that you are kind of you're not really giving thought to which cards you're going to barrel. I think you either barrel all cards or you barrel none, which is kind of incorrect. Like you should be, when you see bet and you intend to barrel some of the time, you should be barreling cards that help our range and help our hand.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. What you tended to do was a lot of the time you just decide you'd see bet give up, and you'd give up on a turn card that's actually really good for us. And the other times you'd see bet and barrel just the world's worst card, and then just continue to barrel.
Yeah, so I think it's just maybe think about what sort of flops are good for our range versus his range and vice versa.
Yeah, go. Daryl Jace's advanced hand, he talks about it a lot in most of the parts, just about, especially parts 2 through 5, he talks about, I think it's the first hand, part 2 hand, he talks about how when you're barreling, what cards are good for you, what cards you get value on, which cards we can make good portions of their range fold and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is when a lot of the time we were betting into ranges that just had us crushed and we had no fold equity. Yeah. Or we were like getting we would never get value.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, so that's going to be like 3 50-minute videos, which is pretty well timed. So yeah, hope you like this, John. Yeah.
Yeah, Benny's a bit of a, you can put up with him.
Nah, alright, thanks guys. See ya.